The Ink and Paint Club podcast is intended for mature audiences. I know we're usually talking about kids' cartoons and stuff, but there's going to be naughty language. Anyway, listener discretion is advised. Sounded pretty funky over there.
Oh, I'm playing Tetris 99.
Oh, nice. You trying to get the ring fit?
Oh, I got that the day it came out.
Okay, gotcha.
I got a Tetris Maximum, and I got it.
Man, I was so close, and I got like second place, and I'm like, God damn it! It eludes me still.
You're listening to the Ink and Paint Club podcast, your weekly home for animation reviews and discussions.
Hello, everybody! Welcome to another episode of the Ink and Paint Club podcast. My name is JD, and with me is Matt.
I'm Matt, and I'm here.
Yes, and unfortunately, we had a bit of a scheduling mix-up this week, and Kyle, he works. He's one of them essential workers and stuff, and has to go to work.
He's a busy boy.
He is a busy boy, busier than the two of us.
On this particular night.
Yeah.
Well, no, I was probably in general too.
No, Kyle works a hell of a lot of overtime, man.
Yeah.
Oh, poor boy. We feel for you, bro. We're here for you.
Yeah.
So Kyle's here in spirit, I guess. Which honestly, I kind of wish Kyle was here because usually his smarmy pointing out the bad things and stuff might come in handy for this week. But anyway, we are continuing our theme for this month, which is Fight Month.
Fight Month!
Get ready to brawl. Round one. Fight.
I've been waiting for this day.
Get over here!
The king of Iron Fist Tournament.
Oh, you get puppy! Game set. Perfect!
And we are going to be talking about the Samurai Shodown movie. I'll be honest with you, Matt. I didn't even know Samurai Shodown was a thing until about a year ago. And even then, I'm still not like entirely knowledgeable about what it is. Like, I know it's a fighting game. I know there's a big samurai and a chick with a bird.
Yeah,
and it's from SNK. That's about my knowledge.
Yeah, my knowledge is of like SNK properties aside from Metal Slug is kind of minimal as well. I've become a bit more familiar with Samurai Shodown in the last I knew what it was in the past, but it's become more prominent because they just had a new game that came out I think last year or the year before that. Fairly recently. They have that new game that came out, and then just this month, the main character from that game, Haomaru, was a DLC character for the Soul Calibur, the newest one.
Matt. His name is Haomaru.
Haomaru. But yeah, so there's those, and then there's the little cameo from that girl with a bird. I think her name's Nakaruru.
Yeah, she's in the King of Fighters stage in Smash Brothers. She and Haomaru are spirits in Smash Brothers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're spirits too.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't know this was a thing. Now I know it's a thing, and we're gonna talk about it for Fight Month because it is a fighting game.
It's gonna be our first SNK fighting game adaptation that we're covering.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll catch up next week too.
No, I meant it was a shame that it had to be this.
Oh, right, yeah. So we were kind of down on the Tekken anime that we watched last year. I feel like
this makes Tekken look like a piece of art. Honestly, yeah, and because I've kind of alluded to the Samurai Shodown in the last two Fight Month reviews that we did.
There's been some build up for this one.
Yeah, but I mean the thing is, because it's maybe a little bit of a build up, but it's a build up to nothing really. Because like I mentioned before, this movie's just it's boring. It's so boring.
Yeah, Matt watched this weeks ago, And I
I
just
watched it
watched
weeks ago, and JD just watched it, and I watched it a second time yesterday because
Yeah, I watched this like an hour ago.
yeah, I wanted to be completely sure that I wasn't just being hard on it for the sake of being hard at it. So I watched it a second time yesterday just to be sure, and I can say with full certainty that this movie is fucking boring. And not only that, not only is it boring, but the dub that we watched is the dub is not good. Like
Yeah.
it's downright
So
bad.
for one, if you've ever doubted Matt's commitment to this show, he watched an awful movie twice just to be sure.
Just to be sure.
I definitely wouldn't do that. But yeah, let's talk about the dub. This dub is from the mid '90s. And
which
it's
is not entirely like a detriment because
no,
the Darkstalkers one that we just watched, the dub on that was, good. I like the dub on that.
No, the dub on this is fucking awful.
Yeah. And you know what? When I was rewatching it the second time, I think I kind of nailed what this movie like reminded me of, like with the dub and everything and just the general style of it, because yes, the movie is boring, but I don't know, because we're not that familiar with the actual games and stuff. Like
Right.
after I finished watching the movie, I did like watch gameplay of like the games and stuff, like the first one, like the most recent one and stuff, kind of get an idea of like what they were adapting. And yeah, I mean they've got like they've got I'm pretty sure this is an adaptation of the first game.
Yeah,
they've got like all the characters that you can pick in that game, and then like the final boss and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just, I guess they do a good job of they do a better job at making sure that all the characters are included than Tekken did.
Yeah, because everyone in Tekken was at least just a background cameo, but in this one, at least everyone everyone who I assume is a character from the game at least has a line.
Yeah, like there's actual dialogue from them and stuff, but like what's there from the dialogue and the personalities and stuff is just it's well, anyway, so yeah, when I was watching it like the second time, I was just kind of thinking to myself, whenever you're watching like a Western cartoon and from maybe like in the early 2000s and stuff, or like mid 2000s, when there's like a kid watching like an anime on their screen and it looks like the most generic like samurais and doing special attacks and like bad dubs and stuff, I'm pretty sure they were watching this. Like,
you know what?
That's
not too far off, honestly.
Yeah.
That's about right. But yeah, like I didn't find this necessarily boring, but I was getting frustrated with just like how awful the acting. And the biggest offenders are whoever played Galford and literally anyone who plays a child.
Galford was
the blonde ninja knight man.
with the one with the dog?
Yeah, whose name is Puppy, which is the dumbest name for a dog.
Yeah, I can agree.
Light on fire for some reason.
I can agree on his voice and lines being the worst.
Yeah, it literally felt like it was the first time he was reading that script.
Yeah, probably.
Literally any child, like all the children are played by adult actors, but it feels like these people are really trying to imitate a bad child acting. And it's like, why?
Have you ever watched Kung Pao Enter the Fist?
I have.
Do you remember there's the bit in that movie where there's just like a bunch of children and there's a bunch of just adults going, we're children, we're children, we're children.
I need to rewatch that movie. I haven't seen it in years.
It's still very good.
It's so good.
It's better than this.
Oh God. But yeah, so like I've said, I don't know anything about Samurai Shodown, so I feel like I could judge this solely on the merits of what I'm being presented with in this OVA.
Which is weird, yeah, because they call it Samurai Shodown the motion picture, but it's not like some of the other build like motion picture like fighting game adaptations that we've covered or that exist. I don't know, it's really weird because I think maybe it wasn't billed as the motion picture in Japan in the same way that the tech in the motion picture like wasn't probably like a 2-part OVA that they cut together as one thing and just called it the motion picture. Yeah, it's just weird. But yeah, it is just like I think this is a multi-part OVA. I think it was just like 2 parts or something. But anyway, yeah, it was put on TV. It wasn't put in theaters, which thank God, because if this were if I watched this in theaters with like quality of like the animation and like everything else and the pacing and just how fucking boring it was, I would have been pissed.
Oh yeah.
I would have been more, yeah, because the thing was I watched it like at home. I found it on YouTube and I watched it there, and like the benefit to that was that I didn't have to pay to watch it, or
Yeah.
you know, I just lost time, and I lost more time from rewatching it twice. That one was on me.
Yeah.
But I had to be sure.
But yeah, like obviously when you bring stuff into animation like this, it's very clearly for the fans of that thing. Like I'm sure people who are like diehard Samurai Showdown fans like are like, oh, it's that character, and like and you know, they're doing this thing and like that's their special attack, and like I've got no knowledge of any of that stuff, so it was all gibberish to me for the most part.
I suppose if you were watching this back when it was released in 1993, when Samurai Showdown was just the one game, I'm sure it was probably pretty novel to like, you know, see the characters animated and stuff. But the thing is, they did a second Samurai Showdown OVA later, and I didn't watch the whole thing. I'm hoping like maybe we can cover it next time we do Fight Month to kind of redeem Samurai Showdown.
Yeah, maybe.
But I skimmed through the second one. The thing with the second one is that it never got a dub. Like it's just Japan only.
Sure.
But it is a 2-part OVA. And I just sort of skimmed through it, and oh my god, it looks so much better. Like down to the style is, because that's the thing is I can't judge it on the merits of its the voice acting or anything. There's no dub available, so, and there's no subtitles from what I could see. Hopefully by the time next Fight Month rolls around, I'll be able to remedy that.
Sure.
But just going off the quality of like how the characters are designed and like how it's animated and stuff, it looks leagues better.
That's
Like,
good at least.
yeah. And like even then, like shit, I looked up like a playthrough, just like the first Samurai Showdown game, like somebody playing as Hamaru and playing through the game. And honestly, I would recommend watching just a playthrough of the first game over this, because at least like it's in its original context, it's stylized well, the music rips, the characters are cool and stuff. And that's the thing, is that this movie just makes it's a big detriment to what I'm sure like in their original context are like really cool characters, and like
because I mean that was kind of one of my problems with this, is it like it presents you with all of these characters and like some real like interesting designs, and I'm like that's cool, and they're like doing all these flashy moves, but unlike some of the other stuff we have where they have like this giant cast of fighting game characters they got to introduce, they don't make me care about any of them. Like they don't really like there's this whole team of like reincarnated holy warriors that like Haohmaru is supposed to be a part of, and they kind of just appear, and we're not really given a reason as to like why we should care about them, or like what's their personalities are like. They just kind of show up and tell Haohmaru you have a destiny, and kind of go from there. So like we have like this multicultural like squad of holy knights, samurai dudes, and I don't give a shit about any of them because the movie doesn't make me give a shit about them. It's like, okay, like we've got a lady, like a French lady knight, or we've got like a blonde samurai, or like a blonde ninja, and you got this giant monk dude, and like this weird tribal guy. And this
girl with a bird,
and a little girl with a bird, and they all can shoot lightning and fire for reasons, because
it's a fighting game.
Because it's a fighting game and everyone shoots fire and lightning.
Yeah.
But it's like they're just kind of there to tell Haohmaru to go kick some ass. That's pretty much all they do.
Yeah.
And they beat the bad guy, and that's it.
So speaking of the bad guy, like in this movie, the main villain is a woman, and from what I was able to tell, I think this character was originally male in the first game, but also is based on a real person. So
So
I don't know
that's
why they changed it for the movie. I was a little confused. I was trying to like cross reference my stuff, but I couldn't figure out why.
so I don't know if this is how like across the board this is for the Samurai Showdown characters, but I know at least Charlotte, the French lady knight, is like based on like some French revolutionist, in like an actual history.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works for everybody else. Like if how Maru is like some Japanese folklore character or something. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, it's like like the main bad guy is like used to be one of the holy warriors, but I guess became corrupted by this demon that shows up right at the end, and we're given like almost no context for. Um, and then she dies because she gets stabbed through the heart. And then she's like, Hamaro, take my sword to beat the giant spirit monster that I unleashed. And
oh yeah, sorry, spoilers for this movie, but
this movie that's been out for 25 years.
Yeah, but also we're telling you not to watch it because it's not good. So
yeah,
don't even worry about it. We're telling you.
We watched it so you don't have to.
Exactly. You know what was funny was the second time we were watching it, and I kind of was made aware of how often the villain, and I cannot remember the name of her.
Says her own name.
Yeah. Well, no, that she yells for Halmar, and then like Halmar yelling for her, and it like gave me flashbacks to like watching Inuyasha. Like of like them yelling like Inuyasha and Kagome over and over.
Sorry. Because that's exactly what it is.
Not only that, but the main villain, she kind of looks like
Shomaru.
Yeah.
A little bit.
And like I was watching, I was just thinking, man, I'd kind of just rather
Jesus
be
fuck. Man, sure if I would have thought about that earlier, this would have made this movie 100 times more entertaining.
I'm sure rewatching Inuyasha might be worth more time than watching this. I don't know.
It's
I haven't watched
Netflix,
that in a while.
Man, I could.
Yeah, I haven't watched that in a while yet either. I'm not sure how well that holds up.
JD, fun fact: Inuyasha is why I know cartoon characters can swear. Because I watched it when I was like 8.
What did they say? Just like damn and hell?
Yeah, Inuyasha said damn, and I was like 8 years old, and I'm like, cartoon characters can't swear.
Well, that's an anime character. See, they're
I didn't know the difference back then. I just thought all cartoons were cartoon. I didn't think of where they were from.
Right.
I just assumed that like it's on TV. It's from the TV people.
Right.
Clearly, they made it.
So, the copy that because you watched the same copy that I did, right?
Yeah,
because I couldn't really find. I mean, there's no other because it was on YouTube. This is the only copy that I could find on YouTube, and I didn't want to look anywhere else for it. The copy that we watched, and I'm not sure if this was. I'm assuming this is from them bringing it to America, but the blood is censored in this movie. It's like replaced with like a white like shine.
Sometimes it is.
No, that's the thing is I'm pretty sure that the little bit of blood in the very end is not censored, but I think the rest of the movie before that's all censored.
Yes. So the part where Hamaru is fighting that big giant fat guy, when he is just mowing down his ninja cronies, they changed all the blood to like white. They just painted white over all the blood.
It's kind of like when they put Mortal Kombat, the original Mortal Kombat game on the Super Nintendo, and they replaced all the blood. They recolored all the blood gray, and they called it sweat.
Yeah. But then like they do that, and then like immediately after when he fights the big fat guy, the fat guy like starts dripping blood out of his mouth, and that's red. So it's like it's very clearly blood.
I'm guessing it has to do with volume, like how much blood there is. Like I guess little bits are fine, but once you get into like Mortal Kombat territory, like
because I noticed them doing the white bit, and then he like bleeds out of his mouth, and I like, and I'm obviously a gross moron, but I immediately thought it was like, oh, they probably didn't paint his mouth blood white because it would look like jizz.
God.
It's like at that point, why even bother putting it in? Just edit it out.
Right.
4 kids did it all the time.
Speaking of editing out, I don't know how accurate this is, but I went on the Wikipedia page, and usually like for movies and stuff, they'll say like the runtime.
Yeah.
I went and looked up the runtime for this, and it says that it's 85 minutes, but the copy that we watched was 68 minutes.
Yeah,
So,
I'd almost guess there probably is some like extra footage in the Japanese version. I don't know
but
if that
that's a
would make
lot
it.
of footage. That's like a whole like 20 minutes, or
Yeah,
like a, just shy.
though I honestly don't know if it would make it better.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah,
But the thing is, I don't know if that's even accurate. Like, I mean, but
yeah, I'm not
it's very
sure.
possible there could be edited stuff. Hard to
Sure.
tell.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, this is an hour, but this is a slog of an hour to get
Oh
through.
God, yeah, it's an hour, but it feels like
Like it kept going on, and I kept looking at the runtime. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'll have 20 minutes of this.
I'm not gonna lie. On my second playthrough, or on my second watch, I did just I was playing Tetris 99 through like the last half of it, just because like I was like, oh God, I already saw it, but I did have it on the background just so I could be like, okay, I gotta keep myself engaged somehow. I'm not gonna
Right.
be able to make it through the rest of the movie again this way.
Now, I complained about like it is a slog to get through, but I feel like um I feel like this would have been better served as like a season of anime. Because I feel like because they're trying to cram all this story and all these characters into a 1 hour film, like I said, I don't connect to any of it. But had you given me like, a 25 episode season or something about like,
Like
you know,
Power Stone.
yeah, kind of like Power Stone. Like, just make it about like, okay, first episode shows them the warriors getting defeated 100 years ago, and then how Maru has to like reawaken his memories of his past self, and you kind of get out to go on like a little adventure with like the whole team as they kind of all meet back up, and you get to kind of know everyone's personality a little bit, and is leading up to this giant climactic battle with like their old friend or whatever who's gone evil. And I'd be down for that. But because they cram so much, it's like they're cramming so much, but cramming so little into this movie. It's like they're cramming so much stuff, but I don't care about any of it because there's so much of it going on. But it's not presented to me in an interesting way, or in any fashion that would make me care about these characters.
Right. I shudder the thought of there being a full season of this, like just when you've kind of like look at it from like you imagine they were given a certain budget for this OVA, and typically like a video production, just like a movie length thing, would tend to get something along the lines of like not like a full season's worth of a cartoon or anime or whatever.
Sure.
But like you would see that there would be like a quality difference, like in the way that like I brought up Power Stone, like that's like a full season's worth of anime, and but everything is done well. Like there's of course it's like for televised anime, there's like it's not always going to be animated like fluidly, but like it's still gonna like look pretty good for the most part.
Power Stone was very standard, episodic anime.
Yeah,
and
so
it was fine.
Yeah, and so yeah, with this, it's just like I'm thinking, God, if they were given like an OVA budget and like this turned out like this, like I can only imagine how, like, even if they were able to flesh it out, even if they're able to flesh out the story and the characters and stuff, I think just the way that the style, the way that they style the characters and like how it looks just doesn't do the game justice. Like I mentioned before, the one that they did after this, which is called Samurai Spirits 2 Asura Zanmaden, I believe. My pronunciation of that's probably butchered.
Sure.
But yeah, like just from the little bits I saw that, like it looks like it did a way better version of like the character designs and like how the fights are presented and everything. So like it seems like they had a misstep with this, but I'm sure that one I would like to watch that one too. Maybe for next fight month or whatever we'll decide.
If you guys want us to slog through another Samurai Shodown movie, let us know.
But yeah, Yeah, and the thing was, I was disappointed because when I was looking up like the studios that were responsible for this, it was Studio Gazelle, and Studio Comet. So Studio Gazelle's main claim to fame was that it helped produce the Street Fighter 2 movie.
Oh yeah.
So already there, I was thinking, oh, that's rad. The Street Fighter 2 movie is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But then also Studio Comet, they had a hand in doing like Initial D and the which the only one that's the only one I'm really familiar with. But it looks like they also did the original Dragon Quest anime, and they did another adaptation of an SNK fighting game. They did Art of Fighting. So yeah, I was just thinking like, okay, so they got like some experience and stuff. But then yeah, you just watch it and it's just it's disappointing.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, Samurai Shodown fans, if there's any of you out there listening that you didn't really get something a little higher quality to represent your franchise here. And who knows, maybe we're just a little off base. Maybe the actual Shodown fans find this amazing, and I would
really like to know if there's any of you guys out there that are Samurai Shodown fans. Let us know, if you actually enjoy this movie, and if we're completely wrong and off base, or if you agree, and even if the little bits you saw of the one they made after this looked like leagues better.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely an OVA movie. I've watched it once, and I doubt I will ever have the desire to watch it again.
Right.
But so I mean that's Samurai Shodown the movie, SNK whatnot. But next week, maybe it will be a little better, because we're gonna continue talk about SNK, because we're gonna talk about the Fatal Fury movies.
The first two.
Let's get some Mr. Terry Bogard in there.
Yeah.
Who I also didn't know who they were till about a year ago.
Right.
But yeah. So everybody, thanks for listening. Sorry we were kind of a downer this week, but hopefully next week will be better. Who knows? We'll see.
Hopefully we go out with a bang for the Finish a Fight month.
Yeah. Don't go down like a bitch.
Right.
Yeah. All right. We will catch you guys all again next week. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Ink and Paint Club podcast. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter to keep up with the show. Join our Discord to chat with us, and subscribe to our Patreon for some cool bonuses. Links are in the description. We'll see you next time.